There is one type of fishing that I really enjoy. That's river fishing, because it's moving, and also a hard fighting species. It's called the barbel. Last season I had some great barbel fishing, and I just happened to have kept one film back from last year to put up for the start of the river season this year. Guys, let's get down there. I'm absolutely wired up to go. We're back down here at the River Wye again. So it is. Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. I'm taking a sort of calculated gangle. I know I fished a lot yesterday, but I've come back to this swim. I call it the shoot. I only ever fished one area like this before, years ago, down on the Hampshire Avon. This is the River Wye, and it's a swim between swims. Woody from Hereford's Tackle, who does the day tickets here, wanted me to go downstream below the big railway bridge. But I'm drawn upstream. Wouldn't be able to reach this under normal conditions because it would be coming up here. You know, I'd be wading here and it would be sort of, if you see it there, unfishable. But where that ripple is through there, there's what we call a chute. It sends all the food down there. This is shallow, fish are unlikely to be there. So I'm fishing the world famous. That's a bit weird, I had the camera upside down. This is a good start to the day. I could set up base camp just here. And swim tails off and shallows there. The chute's just in here. I think I've emptied the local Hereford supermarket out of all spam, expensive spam. I found cheap, just plain pork luncheon meat that I caught on. It was like £1 cheaper per can. I mean, ridiculous. Same thing I guess. Paying for a brand. Right, let's get some ground bait mixed up. The two most important things that I bought on this trip. A pair of waders, one of which leaks, the left foot, because I tried to dry them out in the B&B last night. And this, which is, it needs sewing up there, is for wading. It's just, you know, a bait apron, what they call a bait apron. I've mixed up about 75% Bailey's #1 horse feed to 25% bran. Look, it's not measured. I want it fairly stiff because that's fast water out there. A load of pellets. Like that. Mix it all up. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do here, because it's going to be difficult out there wading. This is, might want to be a little bit damper. Hang on a second. So, fast water fishing on the Avon, and the Wye is probably stronger than the Avon, I'm guessing. Don't tell me I've made this too wet. I should have let Smith mix it. We used to, just so I'll show you. The guy gave me some maggots, very kindly gave me some maggots, they won't go wasted. We used to make a ball like this, very firm. It used to be golden breadcrumbs and white crumb. Then we would make a hole like this, right? Probably made this one a bit small actually. We used to use huge ground bait balls before, years ago. And scoop it out. The golden breadcrumbs used to make it go absolutely like concrete. You put your maggots in like this, right? But secret, you put a stone in there. Okay, you put a stone and a cap like that, so that the current will break that down. But you didn't catapult. You had to get out with waders really, unless you were fishing deep water close in, and then you had to just lob it in. It would roll down, it would break out, and look already. Can you see that? It's breaking up, the maggots coming out. Now I'm not fishing with maggots. I just want to get the fish feeding, so you can see the principle of it there. So let's get mixed up, get a few balls out there. and then I get tackled up. Right, I've got my bucket of, I put maggots in there loose because I'm not going to be able to hold 2 pouches full of bait out here. I'm going to wade out and hopefully not slip over, Graeme. And I'm going to get these ground bait balls, so I never fed anything last time. I get to about here and then it sort of shallows up a bit, he hopes. Sometimes, look guys, you can squeeze it a little bit flatter, but I want it breaking up over there. Probably even farther over than that. Don't really want to let go of the handle of this, do I? All my feed's gone down the river. I used to have a piece of cord, I used to clip it 2 years ago. I've got a horrible downstream wind coming, and I believe rain as well. And I want to get right in the chute, over there. That's as good as I'm going to get, I think. It's time consuming, yes, it's time consuming, but it could pay dividends. The risk here, let's get this one out, way over there. When they make that bloopy noise, that means they generally haven't broken up on impact, because I'm going to be free lining here, not fishing with a feeder. Might try a feeder later on, I said never say never. The thing is, if it's very fast, it's tricky to fish because with the feed, it could roll the ball away and it takes the fish with it, if that makes sense. Right over. I can actually see one of the balls. I can see both balls there. There it goes, it's rolling away and it's going down the chute, which is exactly where I want it. I'd like it to break up before it goes down the chute, but hey ho, beggars can't be choosers. A little bit farther over. I generally pick a fish or two off in low water. I don't have a problem. A lot of anglers. There's hardly anybody down here. Get over there, boy. That broke. I could hear the sound it made. He's going to switch his cam off. Job done. Let's get back out and rig up. One hook, one AAA shot, big chunk of luncheon meat. Going to be a windy one, guys. People ask about luncheon meat. Look. I slide it out about, that's an inch from your knuckle, a ½ inch. Then I just go through it with my Army Service lock knife. I can always bring it out again, like this. About there. It's that way you get a nice, clean, straight cut, don't you? I'll put it in my shoe, nobody's going to eat my shoes. And then you can go like this way. I like to go this way. And I only get 2 big pieces, as you can see, out of that. I can cut them smaller, show how windy it is, blowing everything over. I can cut them smaller. I don't want small fish. I don't want ½ pound chub, which I could probably catch all day long here. I want a big chub, a big barbel. Well, not even a big barbel, a barbel. They don't need to be big to fight, these fish. And for those who don't know barbel, live in foreign countries, barbel is a river fish. It's a bottom feeding fish. It is unquestionably the strongest fish we have in the rivers. I always used to say it's the strongest fish we've got in Britain, but I'll be honest, you're going to be hard pushed in still water to beat a catfish. Both a catfish and, what do you think, some bass, all these birds going around, seagulls. You'd be hard pushed to beat a catfish in still water and a barbel in the river. So there you are, that's what I've got there. Now I'm probably going to run out of battery here, people. And I'll have to go to the other cam, which I'm not sure has a great microphone. Well, no, it doesn't, it has a rubbish microphone. Mike's latest one. No, old is better, the one I've got works. Right boys, join me in the river. What a good job I bought. Leaking waders, you can't beat it. And of course, I couldn't come down. See, the swim's way down there. If this river was up in there, I couldn't get down there. This would be too much current for me. Definitely. I'd never be able to reach that hole. I go over and I just turn it like that. Can you see? So the point is just barely on the outside. Now, you can't really teach this method, touch ledgering. You've either got it or you haven't got it. It's only born out of experience. I can't tell you what the bites are. They are just a bump. I think I've got to come back here a bit. It's a bit deep there. Shallows up here. Big slippery boulders, and I've got metal studded waders here. Okay. Oh, that's the leak, yeah. Whatever, I'm going to get a wet boot, I don't care. Here we go, here we go. Join me, people. Is it going to be a one cast wonder? Now, I want a bow in the line there so that I can watch it, but I can't quite see the pace of the line. The previous I fished here was a bit of sunshine, I couldn't see anything. So it's all touch ledgering. Got it across my finger here. Barely wouldn't even see anything on the rod top. Now, could be no fish here, you don't know. There's definitely a snag down there, I know. A couple of barbel would be nice out of this. You've got to lift it, you basically just lift it and bump it over the stones. So the difference between I can't really describe it, the riverbed and the meat rolling and bumping along the gravel is quite difficult. It's a touch thing, which is why it's called like this, there, touch ledgering. It comes down the bottom, just let it hang there for a bit. I'm on weed, and it's come off now, the bait's come off that time. Here we go. No, it hasn't come off, still there. So I just wind it slowly. I want to skip it sort of across the surface. Don't wind it too fast, you'll knock it off, because you can get two casts out of this. Let's try one a little bit farther over. Now, last time I fished, I didn't even start until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Didn't even get here till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it could be an afternoon thing. I've noticed evening-wise they don't seem to take. Didn't go mad like barbel normally do. Second run down, I just had a tiny, tiny tap, which I feel was a chub. Okay, guys. Oh, I missed one. That was a barbel. That was a barbel, I missed it. Talking to the camera again. I'm going to switch the camera off to get hooked up. All right. Running it down again. Downstream wind is so annoying. It pushes a bow in the line too fast and can drag that bait through the current too fast, and they won't take it. You might think fish are stupid. They're stupid, but not that stupid. And every now and then I let a little bit of line go off to keep pace, so I'm sort of trotting. I can actually try with the float. I may well try with the float later on. Nothing so far. Luckily the fish has come right up here opposite me. I'm hoping against hope he stays on that tack and there's no snags. So you could get these trees falling in the water on that far side. He's going to go turn and go back downstream, I feel. There he goes. Wow, he whizzed it off then. Oh. Doesn't feel a big fish, but then barbel, being notoriously hard fighters, it can be deceiving sometimes. You can have a 3 or 4 pounder and it suddenly turns into a 6 or 7. Now that was right down the bottom end of the swim. Oh yeah, here he goes. Wow, he's whizzing. Patience pays when barbel fishing. Look at the clouds up. Look at the clouds up there racing through. Come on, boy. I'm going to click off for a second, people. It's going to be a while on this fish. What I'm doing is walking downstream. trying to get him just below those rapids. There's no way I'm pulling him into the rapids. This way, he's still going. I'm going down there with him. There's a little slacker area here. Now, I'm going to get below the fish, same old procedure. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What a scrapper. And I can bring him back towards me. Here he comes. What you normally do, we used to do a lot of this, is you can actually just hold them. What you can actually do is hold them using your boots like this. Hooks out. There's a fish. Beautiful. Ground baiting with the maggots. I mean, that's what we came for, boys. There he is. And that's what we come for. Look at that. Like a golden bonefish. It's easier going your way. It's easier going your way instead. Yeah, I've got a barbel, yeah.
Oh, nice. Good size.
About 5, I guess, yeah, about 5 pounds, yeah. How many miles do you come down?
I started in Hereford, and I'm on my way to Simmons Yacht.
So how many miles is that?
45.
45?
But 3 days. So,
Oh, goodness.
yeah, be careful on the way.
Yeah, well, good luck with it. Have a good one.
Good luck.
Down there, boys. Nice chub. So, they must have got on that ground bait. There he goes. Well guys, that's probably the smallest barbel I've caught on the River Wye. But still, gratefully accepted. Good little scrapper. I mean, this is the Barbel River, is it not? He wants to go. He wants to go. I just can't get that luncheon meat out there fast enough. Well, people, it has. Let's put this up here. It has, people, pretty well died a death. 3 barbel, I've had about 6 chub now. The barbel are there. They're in one big hole. They're not down the back where I caught them before. They're just in this scoured out bit where I can see them twisting and flashing. Sometimes when they're like that, they won't feed. So I think the only thing I can do there, I'm running the meat right through. So I think I'm going to put the feeder out there with a banded pellet. So there's a constant trickle of small bits of food. It might just, you know, get something on the feed there. But they're definitely not on the meat. So change. Fingers crossed. I can pick one more fish off for you. Wow. It's just weird seeing all these fish and not being able to catch them. Well, that mark, the chute through there, is just too narrow for me to hit accurately, and the barbel in about the size of a, well, not even a car roof, probably the whole size of a car, quite a small area to hit in this wind. So I've waded out and I've walloped the feeder in there because it might drag round. So the swim feeder rod is there. I've got it set up with the buzzer so that if I'm looking away filming, which I do, might give me a bit of early warning. What I will do, because it's blowing up for rain, oh, I just had a bang then. Just might get lucky like that. Ideally I should wade out there and hold the rod, touch ledger with the quiver tip, and you know, but I don't really like fishing static like that, to be honest. It might whack over and hook itself. Yeah, what I want to do is just show you underwater, putting the maggots in the stone, and we'll leave it down there quite close but in flow so you can see what it's like, while I've got a little bit of light here to at least show you what it looks like underwater. So I've got maggots mixed in there loose. I'm going to mix a ball up like I showed you. Now, if you remember, it's gone nice and tacky now, it's nice and gluey. But I haven't exactly put a lot out in the swim, so I can afford to waste some and show you. So that's how I made it. You know, you make your cup like that, you pour some maggots in, you put your stone in, you close the cup up, and if you want, squeeze it quite tight because the maggots will break it apart anyway. And then if you're not lobbing it too far and you want accuracy, you don't want it rolled away, I just do that sort of oval, just subtly compress it like that. It's just a tip. In fast water that'll flip, you know, but eventually it will sit like that in between stones on the gravel. Right, let's get one ready and get the underwater camera out. So the ball of ground bait's gone into the water, but just look what happens, say, let's call it about 10 minutes later, something like that. Out I trudge to see what's out there with my handy cam and look at all the minnows there and look at the ball of ground bait. It breaks down, but here's the thing, guys. You put a ball of ground bait in and you think, oh, that's going to last quite a long time. It doesn't, because in a river like the Wye, you've got a lot of current there and a lot of these small fish, minnows, small gudgeon, small barbel, whatever's in there, loaches, and they're nibbling all this away. So your ground bait is not lasting as long as you think it is. Well, they're not having it at all. I'm actually here with the feeder out there, and I know the barbel are there. I've been out, I can see them twisting, flashing. They are not feeding. I've gone up here, had a wade out, and had another small chub, about pound and a bit, pound or so on rolled meat. Nothing in that swim either. The other guy's packed up, he had nothing. So I think I've done pretty good. I've had half a dozen small chub and 3 barbels. I've done okay, but it's really, really windy. I think now, 1:05, if I move, there's a swim that Woody wanted me to fish down below the railway bridge and try for chub. There's some bigger chub in there. I think I might go for that. The chances are the chub might be feeding down there. And I have here I've got a couple of loaves of bread. Last time I went down there, caught on bread. But it is very windy down there, so I could be letting myself in for an absolute blasting. But I think now's the time. I've got to pack up now. Right, I'll meet you guys down at the next swim. Wow, it looks like I should have bought my bathing suit and a bucket and spade. It's like a beach. Before I was wading out from there. My goodness me, look how it's gone. And the current flow was over the far side, because it comes round the bend, hits that wall and goes down there. It's on the inside now. So this is, I think, where Woody said come. Nice houses, but I wouldn't want the garden. Wow, up and down those hills, but very nice. So I'm going to set up here. I put 3 balls of ground bait out. Slightly concerning is that I think I caught over there before, and there's a duck standing. So that must be 2 inches deep. I can only guess the fish are going to be down the other side of this fast run here. I don't know. Just got to give it a go. Might have to run a ledge around there, but I will chuck a feeder out If I lose it, I lose it, but that is obviously the oxygenated area there, so on the far side of that I feel is where I shall set up. This is going to be it for the day, guys. I either catch or I don't catch. Okie doke, folks, all rigged up. Got my beeper, buzzer just there. Got my homemade feeder, single pellet, banded. And I'm just going to lob it out, see how it goes. Probably a one-way ticket, you never know. Who knows where it goes. I bumped it once, that's it, I'm not going to bump it anymore. Okay, we just leave that out. Now I'm going to rig up the free line rod. I might have to go to a float rod, I don't know. Well, the old feeder's getting whizzed round in that current. Once it gets pulled in that fast current, it rockets round. So this one I am going to put on here a piece, rather large piece, it has to be said, of luncheon meat. And I'm going to roll it and touch ledger, purely because that's how I've been catching. But I might have to go to a float, and I have got bread. I just have to see if I get any bites first. I have no idea, and it generally, some of these places can be pretty snaggy. Pleasant enough spot, it looks very fishy, but is it? It's a fair old drop from the depth over there, probably a foot or so. I wonder if it's a natural weir or was it a weir that was put there years ago. Oh, I had a tap. I had a very, very small fish tap there. I've got a double SSG shot on there. Now I'm in the current. That's going to be my problem. That is going to be my problem. It's virtually planing on the top. It is. Okay. Let's try a little bit further over. Once it seems to, there must be a much, much bigger volume of water shooting through it than first appears. It might be running a float around that other side. But I'm going to stand up because that way I'll keep the line up and over that fast water and hold the bait over that other side a bit longer, watching the speed of the bubbles going along there as well. Well, it's just going to move. What good job I didn't move. I thought I'm just going to walk down and see. I might be in the wrong place. I think I made the same mistake when I came here before. I went in the fast water and I need to find the slower water. I walked down, had a bump the first cast, second cast, boom, chub. So now, because the rain's coming in, I was going to move and just go onto the roundway, but you basically stay dry. But now, change everything, I'm going to go back down. I wasn't in the right place, I feel sure. And here comes the rain. Well, as you can see by the landscape, I've moved swims again. And this one is not borne out by a fishing choice. The wind, the umbrella I've lost twice. Just the rain is coming in. Look at the clouds. So I figure I'm just going to finish off. I've got 2 hours left. 2 hours, 10 minutes. Around this bridge area, it's supposed to be chub here. I've switched out the pellet on the feeder and I've got a small piece of luncheon meat. And I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do with the other one. To be honest, I might run 2 feeders. The downside is the train's going over the top. Hello, sounds like a small fish on here. Oh, it's a good start, there's a good start. There we go, boys, look. I'll show you how small. Same size hook I was using for the feeder, just a little piece of luncheon meat like that. It's the catch anything type of fishing. I mean, I don't know if there's bigger chub in here. I imagine there must be. They're going to love these maggots in the bottom of here. Right. Try that one again, I think. All I did was lob it straight out by the bridge. There, somewhere out there. But there's a lot of snags there. Seems a bit farther over. I wasn't sure whether to put the feeder in here and then either float fish or free line all the way back there, or put the feeder back there, but of course then the feed might take the fish downstream, mightn't it? That was my thing. Maybe I'll have half a dozen feeder fishing cast out here first. You can see the wind, look at the trees. Way over. It smells a bit suspect under here, I must admit, and there's loads of broken glass and rubbish, but that's what you have. And a fish on, boys. And I bumped another one. I don't think they're big fish, but I think I better get around here. Might lose him, but that's a free line. I'm wondering if a link ledger or a light ledger weight. I thought it was about half a pound, maybe he's a bit bigger. He's sizable. Yeah, he's up round. He's into the net. He goes. Well, that's turned it around, hasn't it? That move. It is acceptable. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely acceptable, guys. Oh, yeah. I take those all day long. There we go. A lovely fish in a not very nice setting, but still a fish nevertheless. Now, generally, I'm going to be using great big chunking pieces of luncheon meat, but I was catching really nice chub. Look, not monster chub, but look, most anglers would like to catch fish like this, and they are in mint condition. Look at the condition of that one. So a lot of the time you don't always, unless you want big barbel, have to use a big piece of luncheon meat, because those same size chub will still nibble away and take pieces out of the big luncheon meat even if you don't catch them. So I'm getting some great sport here catching fish on small pieces of luncheon meat. Now you can get tiny pieces, even half the size I got here. That's like one of my barbel size one that's cut down 4 times. So all you do is fish with something like well, this is a link ledger, what I call a link ledger. Well, it's a tangled link ledger, Graeme, at the moment. Sort it out, mate, sort it out. And it's got a swan shot. Now you can change the shot on this weighting system. It's like a little running ledger. If I just straighten it out, you'll be able to see. It's got either a stop shot or you can put a plastic stopper on it. And there you can see the link. Can you see the shot at the bottom? That's the weight. I can take or add up. I can put different weights on there. There's my stopper shot. I've got about 12, 15 inches, maybe 2 feet of trace. I put the hook through the small piece of luncheon meat, twist it. That's all you do. Leave the hook point clear, and I just throw it out and it rolls around along the bottom of the riverbed. And you can have great sport with tiny pieces of luncheon meat. Please give it a try. Right, I'm on Mike's camera here, which I hate. I think it's a black 5. I don't like this one. But I've got another barbel. You won't believe the size of this one. I'm going to have to do it handheld. This one may well be the smallest barbel I've ever caught. Is that not perfection? Look at that. On those tiny bits of luncheon meat. Absolutely perfect. Beautiful looking fish. So I say this camera only works when you point the lens at the face, so your sound will go on this, but look, there he goes. The smallest barbel in the world. Well, no, I suppose the egg of the barbel is the smallest, isn't it? Or the thought of them. The thought. So I've got to get a different microphone for this one because it's a horror story. The whole thing is a mess. A great big giant football size microphone. Not great. Don't like the case. I like my old one. I don't like any of this one, to be honest. Like the quality, do like the quality, but the sound, no, you give me that little umbilical cord every time. I'm doing this one-handed. I'm going to have to get this staked up. I've only got another barbel, guys. A miniature version, small version. Here he comes. Oh. This is the 4th small barbel I've had. Perfection in miniature, yeah? Good. Good, good. Nice to see it in the river. Let's get it back. Well, this guy's lucky. He nearly went to the spag bowl pot there. An eel, better than I had another eel as well. He tied himself in a knot like eels do. I'm sure he'll undo himself. And I think in a minute I'm going to eat my tea tonight and then call it quits. The rain's coming in. Guys, I've got a real one on this time. Got a proper barbel. It's a good one. Well, it'll be so nice. My spag bowl is cold, but it doesn't really matter. And you know, I saw the bite, the rod was being dropped. I thought, why is my rod underwater? Well, this is on a tiny little cube. It's not a monster barbel, it's a real nice one though. Another nice barbel. Let's get him back. Good size one this time. Get a lift out of this one. Urban barbel fishing. He's behaving himself, isn't he? Let's get him back. What a session I've had. Had about 7 or 8 of those small barbel, one decent sized one. So I've got to hit the streets now. I've got 2.5 hours drive home. Fantastic fishing, as you'd expect on the Wye. And I'm pleased I've went to 5 different swims, but I came good in the end. So guys, thanks for watching the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. We'll see you in the next show. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to Mike's TA Outdoors and TA Fishing. We'll see you in the next episode.